Boom! And welcome back, everybody! Hope you guys are doing well. Hit that like button right off the bat. Don't even hesitate. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button because you are now witnessing and being a part of, whether you're here live or on the replay, the 47th episode of your favorite nerdy podcast, and that is Comic X.
Weeb!
That's right, everybody. I am your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag Send It James, a.k.a. The Flash Can't Outrun the Popo. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy, Chris. My phone has to be upstairs charging, so... There we go. Black Santa, a.k.a. Sticky Money Parkers, a.k.a. Super Cold. What? Water! Sponsored by nobody, because we still don't got no dang sponsors.
Still no sponsorship. We're going to get sponsored by Disney one day. We're going to get that Disney.
One day, yeah. Of course.
Mickey Mouse going to come up and be like, oh. So yeah, welcome back, everybody. We were off last week, but we are back today, and we have a lot to talk about. There's been a lot going on in the last 2 weeks, a lot of shenanigans. I don't even know where we're gonna kick it off with. Chris, what do you say
talk about the Flash, so we could start with him.
You want to start with the Flash? All right, so let's start with the Flash. So apparently, Ezra Miller, the actor of this Flash that's been in the newer movies, whether it's Justice League, the brief cameo in Peacemaker, and did he make a cameo anywhere else? Was he in like Batman and Superman or something like that?
He was never in. He wasn't in any of the Wonder Woman movies, so no.
Okay, so yeah, so basically just of Justice League fame, but supposed to be getting his own solo movie as well. However, he was arrested, I believe in Hawaii, for. What was he arrested for? I think it was. I think it was like trying to choke someone out or some crazy shit. Like
it was fighting, wasn't it? Something to do with
yelling, fighting, slapping, whatever the heck he was doing. Basically, just getting into some shenanigans and choking / slapping people, and was arrested for it. So Warner Brothers, smack ass. Warner Brothers, not so thrilled with the behavior and actions of
I
Mr.
wouldn't
Miller,
be either if I was them. I would be very upset.
Because I think this is not the first time that he's gotten into some sort of legal altercation. And they actually ended up holding an emergency meeting, quote unquote, emergency meeting, discussing the future of Ezra Miller and Flash. And today, it was actually announced today that DC went ahead and canceled orders for the movie promo comic. So that could mean a couple different things. One, it could mean that orders were just so terrible that they just canceled the orders for the comic so that they didn't waste money printing it. Or two, it could mean
comic on this movie is kind of disturbing, but okay.
Well, I mean, they do that often for comic book movies where they just have like a promo comic book that goes along with it. Sometimes it's like a preview or like a prologue to the movie. Sometimes it just kind of goes over the movie.
I do get it, but honestly, I think this movie would have sucked anyway. At the point that I would have just waited until after the movie was out, and if it did good, then I would have did a prologue. But I would have waited. Me.
Yeah. So DC announced today that they were just canceling orders for that comic book. My opinion is that it means the movie itself has been delayed. At the very least, that it's been delayed if they're going ahead and canceling orders. So yeah, the Flash gets another delay, and possibly a recasting type situation going to happen. That I think is still to be decided. but yeah, not looking great for this movie that we were already not excited about.
Right. The only way to salvage it, if I had to recast, is the cast the dude from the the CW series.
Yes. Oh, for sure. We talked about
instantly
this.
be like, who we said should have been in general to begin with.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have literally went to my man's door, knocked on it, and said, I'm so sorry. We cast that jackass. We should have picked you to begin with. It wasn't my move. We are picking you now. Please.
Then he goes out celebrating and chokes somebody in a bar. And they're like, God damn it.
I'll be like, damn it. But you know what? We'll give him a chance because he's still
you know what? That was a strike one. Don't worry about it. It's just the first chance. Get another chance.
Don't do it again.
Yeah.
But no, like, honestly, man, like, it just showed the guy's so stupid. There's nothing that can be said. I'm pretty sure we said it last time. There's nothing that can happen that would make me do that. Like, at this point, I'm way too, like, not to sound arrogant or like cocky, but I'm way too important to just get into a fight with some random jackass.
Right.
Or even if it's another famous guy, I'm not going to do that, dude. I'm like, I got too much to work for and too much I build. Whether you like my movie or not, still, I'm obviously got my next movie coming out. So I'm not going to risk that in any situation. Like, I'm not getting in a fight with that. Like I said, I don't care what this dude did. He could have literally banged my girl that I'm currently with. I've been like, well, you can keep her, and I'm going to move on to Shorty right over there. Like, it ain't no problem, bro. Like, it's cool. You can have her. Like, nothing's going to make me do something so stupid. It's just dumb.
Yeah. No, it definitely doesn't make any sense. But obviously, when alcohol came into play, his common sense went away. So yeah, that's the news there. So we will try to stay updated with what's going on. But so far, Warner Brothers had their meeting, and today's result was DC canceled the promotional comic for the Flash movie.
So do you think they're going to actually recast them, or do you think they're just going to let it die down and then maybe, like you said, delay the movie and then just see how it goes?
I don't know. I would be surprised, I guess. I mean, I guess it just depends how bad the situation was, right? Like, I didn't see too much reporting on like how bad I just saw that he was arrested and this is what he was arrested for. Like, I didn't, obviously attacking a woman in a bar or whatever the case may have been. I'm sure there was two sides of the story, but I'm sure his side isn't great. It's not looking good. So I would say get rid of him, but I'm biased for that. So I didn't want him in that spot anyway. So I'd say it's a perfect opportunity to boot him, restart, and maybe restart writing the movie too. Maybe just do the whole overhaul of the entire situation and go from there and just take it as a blessing in disguise. Be like, damn, Ezra Miller beating some bitches actually saved the DC universe. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed? Exactly. Who would have guessed? Time to switch up this movie now completely. Oh my god! I know this ain't technically the same thing, but it was something that's interesting that happened. I always say her last name wrong, but Tammy Sis. But basically, she was Sunny from WWE, WWF back in the day, professional wrestling. And she, in the last 10 years, she's been arrested 17 times.
Jesus.
She has 7 DUIs, and unfortunately, and I like Tammy because I like Sunny. Obviously, she was a good looking girl, blah blah. But it wasn't really like that. I like the fact that, and she described herself as this. Jim Cornette was like the first one I've ever say this, but she even said, "Yeah, I am that." She is an upfront cunt, and she described herself as that too. Like, I like the realness of her though. But enough's enough. Like, so you would say, how does she like? So what happened was, she got into a really bad car accident, and you would say, well, she's been arrested 17 times in 10 years. She has 7 DUIs. How does she even have a license at this point?
Yeah,
well, she didn't. She did it all. And what makes it bad, though, is that this car accident, not only did it mess her up, she ran into a guy. What we got here?
He's just commenting on the Ezra Miller thing, saying Ezra Miller sucks as Flash. Make Grant Gustin the Flash for all DC. Yeah, I agree.
Very true. She ran into a guy who was sitting at a stop sign because he was parked at a stop sign, and she killed him. It was a 75-year-old man. She ended up killing him.
Golly.
Dude, like, this is the part that was weird to me, though. So after everything popped off, she goes to the hospital. They actually let her go home.
They let her go home. It was reported that
they let her leave the hospital and go home.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Someone's fudged the paperwork there, because hospitals are
definitely, for somebody who's been arrested 17 times, 7 DUIs. You just killed the man. Like, this dude is dead.
Look,
like, he was pronounced
1 DUI. I get it. 2 DUIs? I mean, like, okay. 3 DUI?
Yeah, but that's
fucking
time.
Ridiculous.
But
7 though, it's like you said it's a fun time. But 7 though?
Yeah.
I mean, where do you draw the line?
Maybe the cops there was wrestling fans too, and they just had to let Sonny go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, exactly. Why wasn't she cuffed to the bed? Hospitals are cops, so they definitely should have chain her ass to the bed. It's kind of ridiculous.
Let her go. So now, obviously, they're looking into what's going to end up happening to her, which I hate to say it. You got to put her away for pretty much ever, dude. Like, honestly, at this point.
I thought you got put away for a while after the second one. Like, I thought the first one was 6 months to a year, and then the second one was like 10 years. Like, it jumped significantly. But that's,
I don't think she never got 10 years, obviously. Definitely with the 17 and 10 years.
If she had 17 arrests.
Yeah, 17 arrests in 10 years. She got 17 arrests in 10 years, bro. Come on, bro.
Oh, shit.
Dude, this is crazy, man. People are flipping, bro.
In the UK, if you get 1 DUI, you lose the license to drive anything for life. You can't even get a moped there if you do. She needs to be put away for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah, I mean, you and I both know my stance on any kind of like impaired driving, whether it's texting and driving, drunk driving, anything like that. I have zero tolerance for it. So
agreed.
It is ridiculous. I make jokes about it, but it is absolutely ridiculous.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some shenanigans. She needs to be locked away for life, especially killing somebody.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about another thing related to kind of like movies gone to die, and that would be Morbius. I'm disappointed, Chris. I'm disappointed. I was holding out. I was looking forward to this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, early critic reviews weren't looking so good. Early fan reviews not looking so good. 17% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that's with a grain of salt because critics don't like what's his face, Jared Leto, but 70% positive or 70% review from the fans. So that's a big difference between like 17% and 70%. Most of the people that I've kind of gauged, they said they didn't like downright absolute hate it, but also like it wasn't not close to a great movie by any means. That the pacing was off, the writing was off, and it was just overall
it felt unfinished.
Sloppy.
It felt like it was an unfinished movie.
Did you actually end up watching it?
I have seen the movie.
You have seen it, okay.
It felt unfinished. It felt like stuff was skipped, and they actually did do it. A lot of the crap that you see in the trailers isn't in the movie at all. It's not.
Oh,
there.
So they did. They
actually did do it. Yeah.
Clickbaited a little bit with the trailer. So bad. I'll let that bitch up on my channel too. Worst Marvel movie, sloppy as fuck. Yeah, I'm upset, man. Like I really am. I haven't seen it. I'll probably wait till it comes out on some platform to stream it on, and I'll just go ahead and stream it. But yeah, I'm definitely disappointed here because Morbius is like my guy. Coming out of Spider-Man comic books. I used to love reading Morbius stories.
Yeah.
The initial trailers got me super hyped like 3 years ago when they started coming out. And we were like,
I know, right?
I guess the only silver lining to this whole situation is I'm going to be able to buy a first appearance of Morbius for the cheap, probably in a couple weeks. Post-credits made absolute 0 cents. What was the post credit?
Thank you for saying that too, brother. Because I text Dino, the actual freaking director, told literally the entire post credit scene and the ending. And I thought I honest to God was like, oh, this is an April Fool's joke. This can't be legit. And come to find out, no, that's literally what freaking happens in the movie. Damn. Why would you do that?
So was it Midnight Suns? That's what One True Nerd King is saying. Phil was hoping for some real Sons of Midnight shit. Was not that. What was the post credit, Chris? Lay it on me.
So it was literally them showing that, like, okay, so Vulture gets zapped out of the MCU and zapped into Sony. And then, one, that's kind of confusing because that's not really how that spell's supposed to work. Okay. So, okay.
Got me stroking my chin here.
Yeah, because the spell ain't supposed to zap you all. It's supposed to put you back to your original thing. And it's never stated that he came from Sony. So it didn't make sense that the spell would zap him there. That's why it took Eddie and put him back where he was, and everybody else went back to where they were supposed to go to. So why did Vulture go to Sony?
Sony is just that doesn't make
sense. Now you just changed how that spell works. So
they're just like, give me all the fucking characters. Like it's obvious that they're trying to build a Sinister Six, but they're failing, dude. They're just absolutely failing. That doesn't make any sense. How did he get his suit from jail? There was no Battle of New York.
He gets sent to the prison. He gets sent to the prison in Sony, and the guards and everybody just like, yo, who the hell is this dude? Like, who is he?
Right.
So they released him because they had no records on him. He's not supposed to be there. So they're like, you can go. So he leaves. Wow. And then he gets a new suit, and maybe this is one of the reasons why he tried to explain it, but he was because the question really would have been, how does he have his suit? And this
how long was this damn post-credit scene?
It looked a little better than the suit that he had in the MCU, honestly.
Okay.
It looked like, to me, it's a little more upgraded, to me at least.
Okay.
And then the dude was like, good. The way the director explained it, he was like, oh, well, he has this suit because, he's crafty. What?
What? He crafted it together in 30 seconds?
So now all of a sudden, and then, he's going, it is setting up for Sinister Six. But now, because remember, in the MCU, it looks like he was keeping Peter's secret because of he had respect for him for saving him and all that stuff. It didn't seem like he wanted to tell people out of anger. Yeah, it seemed like it was something there. Now it's just like, nope, I want to kill Spider-Man again. Okay,
of course.
So now, it's basically trying to set the Sinister Six up. So he's going around trying to find people, whatever. But the thing that's also weird to me though is, again, I can't get past that crafty bull crap. Like, what does that even mean? How you mean he's crafty? Anybody can be crafty. Doesn't mean I could be crafty. I'm not sitting here building a freaking Vulture suit.
Yeah, bro, crafty means that you're just knitting sweaters together for Etsy.
Right. In a place that I've never been before. I'm in a whole different universe, literally.
This guy got real crafty while you're sitting in jail.
Where do you get the parts from?
Only things from the wrong universe go other places. Then he was a good guy the whole movie. Then Vulture is like, I don't know what happened, but I hate Spider-Man, and we should hang out.
It's so weird. That's exactly what happened. It's so weird. Yeah. And then here's another thing, too. So he says that, because so the thing is who's the Spider-Man of this universe? Right? Obviously, it's not Toby.
Right.
It's not it's not Holland. It's not our Spider-Man of the current
MCU. What? So you think they're building up the new Spider-Man? You know what's interesting is I went to Disneyland while I was out in California just for a day, but apparently this is according to people who pay way more attention to stuff while they're there than I did. There's a lot of little Easter eggs, and there's stuff that had been predicted in the Marvel areas of Disneyland long before they made their way to the MCU. But once Justin and I and the other people that we were there with were kind of had that in our head, we should be looking for stuff. we saw Miles Easter eggs fucking everywhere. Like, I mean everywhere. So I do definitely think that they are trying to build up Miles and kind of put him in live action as on top of the animated films. Do you think that that's where they're trying to go with?
That's what I was thinking too. I do thinking? Now. This is what I obviously this is me hoping, and what I would do, and I think would be the most logical choice. It should be Andy. It should be Garfield, but it should be him. Basically, going to be handed over to Miles. Like he should be the one to die, and then Miles should be the one to take over from him in the Sony universe. That would be the most logical thing to me to do.
One True Nerd King saying that they're going to destroy Miles like everyone else. I think that Marvel just needs a tighter grasp. I honestly think that's what needs to happen. I think they need to be like, look, we let you have your fun. You know, you can still own the rights to these characters, but you need to stop fucking up. You're fucking with our money. Morbius had the biggest second weekend drop off of any Marvel related movie period. So monetarily, the mouse needs to put on his brass knuckles,
bro,
and march into Sony's office.
That Mickey showing up. Ask the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, ask the Jonas Brothers. I want all the Sony movies to tank so they sell back to Disney where they should be. I agree, but also I don't care who owns it as long as they make good product. Like as long as they can still put out a decent film. I'm worried now, of course, that they're going to scrap Craven and what's going to happen moving forward as far as these villain films that they're doing. I really don't know. It doesn't make any sense. And then of course, the Miles thing, how are they going to approach that? Are we still using Tom Holland for Spider-Man going forward? We've kind of set up this whole story that is now just we get a cliffhanger and it's just going to drop off. Like that's it. Like everyone forgot who he was and he bought an apartment and that's that. Like that's
come to find out he retired.
His little that. Man, that's the earliest retirement I've ever seen. Like, how are you gonna afford that apartment in New York, bro? You're in Manhattan. That's crazy.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying though, and everything you said is so right because it's what do you do? Because if you're Sony, I think the best move would be to put Miles in there because you're gonna get a lot of attention and people hyped up. If you was to put Miles for the Sony verse. But at the same time, if you're Marvel, I wouldn't want Miles. I wouldn't want him to be more Sony. I would kind of want him here. It's just and then I don't know.
It's tough, man. It really is. I mean, just going because we like great stories. So of course we're going to be focused on stories, but the studios, they just want that green cash. So they're going to be focused on the green cash. So anything that they think can put seats or fill seats in the theater, that's really what they're going to be after. But unfortunately, the success of the Spider-Man, this last Spider-Man movie is just going to have them, I think, churning out more crap like that. So I just don't know. I don't know. I really think they need to just kind of regroup and focus on a new Spider-Man story with that's just that hits, man. There's one fucking Spider-Man. Don't worry about all these fucking different clones and bringing in Ben Reilly out of nowhere or Miles or whatever. We can introduce Miles. It's cool. We can get there. Stop with these fucking garbage ass solo villain movies. I'll just say it. Venom, no good. Morbius, apparently no good. Craven, I'm already predicting. I guess it's not going to be any good. Joker was a success because I think they got lucky. They just got lucky. I think
they really did.
Writer, Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. I think that just certain components of it came together, and it was so outside of continuity. They weren't trying to include it in anything. So I think that's the main problem that's going on with the Venom and Morbius and everything. They have to fit it in. Where does this fit into our overall story? So Joker was just this.
The Joker movie, just super quick. they can't really go anywhere after that movie, really.
Right.
Like, I don't think a part 2 in that same setting would do well. I don't.
No, that was just a one and done.
Yeah.
You know, like a one shot, and for comics, it was just a one and done story, and that's it. But yes, Phil says Sony doesn't care about good movies, just keeping the rights by pushing out shite. Yeah, I agree.
They seem to, because the way the director sounded, it is two different Spider-Man. Sony has their version of Spider-Man, and then the one in the Marvel universe is a different Spider-Man. So the one in Venom's world is supposed to be a different Spider-Man. That's why it's like more than like it was hinting, not necessarily hinting, but it could base it's post. Where a lot of us are assuming Andy Garfield is from that particular universe in a way, but obviously we don't know. There's no saying, but it's supposed to be a different Spider-Man. That's what makes it all weird.
Yeah, and confusing and hard to
very keep track of. So yes, we have two Spider-Mans now, technically.
Yeah,
we just don't know who the other one is.
Right.
That's great writing right there. Genius.
Yeah. Genius. Absolute genius. I don't know. The future of the MCU is just so. I just feel like they need. You know, when we were younger in school and they made you like do like those spider web fucking summaries before you start writing a story or whatever. Like that's how they taught you to write a story. I feel like someone in Marvel or Sony, or they need to team up or whatever and like make one of those fucking, all right, here's the direction we're going and let's just kind of spider web it out from there. Because right now I feel like they're all just kind of doing their own thing. And no one's really connecting the dots. Yeah, and I feel like it's going to spiral out of control real fast if they continue doing stuff like that. And not to say that they can't still make a good movie or anything, but like, how is it going to be the next saga of movies? Like the first few phases that you could sit down and watch in order, and it makes sense. It's building up to Thanos and the world ending and getting it back and everything. And there may be some duds along the way in that, you know, in that succession of movies, but it still makes sense chronologically. And now I feel like it's just all over the place. And this multiverse thing that they're opening up is just going to make so many loopholes of, oh, it's a variant, or, oh, you know, that happened in this timeline, or, oh, that universe was deleted, or, oh, you know, this. So, which is what, of course, they do in a lot of modern comics. And that just goes back to like what we have said before. It's just kind of lazy writing, and I'm not here for it like that.
I'm not either, man.
Yeah. Batman's rogues gallery is way steeper and fleshed out than Spider-Man's. Way steeper? I don't know what steeper means, but fleshed out than I think he meant deeper. Way deeper and fleshed out than Spider-Man's. It's not even comparable. They both have really good rogue galleries. But
I do feel a lot of Spider-Man stories nowadays really do use the same people, though.
Yeah. Like
where Batman, I will admit, do have a lot more newer things going on. I will give it that. Not saying that's necessarily a better story, but I will say I think because they both, again, like you said, have great rogue galleries, but I do think Batman's is a little more fleshed out at times.
Right. Okay. If we were to get some, I still don't want solo villain movies from Batman.
No,
like
I don't.
The Joker one was good, but like I don't need any more of those. Like for me, it doesn't make sense because a lot of the times the villains arrive because of the hero and not the other way around.
Exactly.
So it just doesn't make sense to be building origin stories that have nothing to do with the hero and then not include the hero in the movie. It's just shenanigans.
Exactly. Like,
but let's talk about a couple of leaks here too, unless you had something else to add.
No. What we got?
So we have a director leak from Black Panther 2.
Oh no!
Who has just come out basically saying, yes, Namor is the primary antagonist of the movie. So I don't think he was supposed to say it, but he did.
I mean, I would think he really was supposed to. That don't sound like something he just blurt out.
Yeah. I think that someone on Twitter or something was like asking, so how much is Namor going to be in the film or whatever? And he responded, well, being as he's the primary antagonist, a lot. I was like, Oh, okay. So Namor is 100% confirmed for Black Panther 2.
Why not?
I mean, it's something that yeah,
that's all. I would
right.
be like, I'll wait and see. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Guess you gotta wait and see.
I haven't gotten to that part of the script yet. I don't know.
We haven't got that far down there yet. Yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of writing and recording at the same time, so with all those delays that are happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's something that we've all been guessing kind of since Endgame when they made the little comments about the quakes off the coast of Wakanda. And everyone was like, it's Namor. And apparently, yes, everyone was correct. It is Namor. So we have that as a leak. And then the second leak is one of my favorite types of leaks, Chris.
Oh, no, the Legos?
No, it's not Lego, though. This one was the Marvel Legends. Yeah.
Marvel Legends.
Yeah, Marvel Legends went ahead and released the image for Gore, the God Butcher. And a lot of people were not happy with how the toy looked. I mean, to be fair,
you seen the toy?
Yes, I have seen the toy.
Does it like
I mean, like, it looks like a toy, dude. Like, I don't know what they expected from the toy. Like, it looks, that'd be like being angry if Lego did it. And like, oh, well, where's all the detail? It's like, it's a Lego figure, motherfucker. Like,
details, dude.
So it's a cheap, probably Asian manufactured toy that they make for, as cheap as possible to send over. And so I was just like, why are we upset about how the toy looks? Like, why aren't we not upset about where's our fucking trailer? Where's the Thor trailer?
Dude, how weird is that? Seriously. Again, it's like I said before, it's concerning as hell. It is concerning.
Yeah. So
and as a gamer, I know for a fact when you get absolutely nothing, it don't usually turn out well. The only time it did was Elden Ring. And the reason why that turned out well is because Miyazaki got the whole Dark Souls and Bloodborne, all that stuff down pat. You know what you're getting from Miyazaki. Creepy ass shit that don't make sense that you're going to be confused about and talking about for the next 10 years. You're going to get a bunch of feet, a whole lot of feet. Damn near every female boss going to be showing that feet to you. They're going to zoom in on that shit. Miyazaki love his feet. And we're going to get a hard-ass boss that's going to make everybody say this the hardest boss to ever exist. And every YouTube video is going to say this is the most OP weapon to ever exist. We know what we get. And Elden Ring is Game of the Year. And I swear to God, if Elden Ring does not win Game of the Year, we riding. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, with as many people who have been praising that game, I don't see how it doesn't get Game of the Year.
Dude, this game, it just sold like hotcakes too. It broke so many records. I love it. I love Elden
Ring. Phil says, why is everyone so mad? Who cares? Thor wasn't wearing comic accurate stuff in the movie with his 90s metal t-shirt, so calm the F down, people. I agree. Gore, I mean, and the difference between everyone's saying Gore looks like Death from Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or whatever. Like, that's what the toy looks like. I don't like. First of all, he looks pretty similar. Like, there's just stuff with the hood and like black parts of his costume that they just made all white instead. But again, it could be, I don't know. It could also be changed between the release of the picture and the actual release of the toy. But I don't know. I think it's not out because too many leaks with Spider-Man. Now that we did bring that up before, that they're trying to keep stuff on lock so much because something's actually going down in the film. So that is a possibility. And then JVK's dad says there's a reason why there has not been a trailer yet for sure. And then that's, of course, the other side of the argument. So I have heard, I don't know if this is true, it's just someone saying that they were at like an early screening for the movie and there was a standing ovation at the end. Now, of course, anyone could fucking make that tweet, right?
Man, anybody can say that.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not really taking that with a grain of salt for sure. Because
I want
a teaser
here. I'm gonna hit you with a secret. I was at a early filming of the NBA Finals, and after it was over, and the team that won the championship, I don't want to spoil it from y'all. The team that won the championship, all of us stood and just said,
job.
"Oh my God, this is the Finals MVP."
That was good writing. That was good.
Great writing. Great writing. Can't wait to watch it.
The refs rigging that finals was fantastic.
My Lakers didn't even make the damn play in. Yeah.
Yeah, and the coach found out he was fired from a reporter, so that was fun.
Yo, first and foremost, okay, you know I'm a diehard Laker fan. Just gonna be
Of
super
course.
quick. You know how much I live and die for my Lakers, bro.
Right.
This was Bush League and unacceptable what Jeannie Buss and the Lakers did to Frank Vogel. One, he shouldn't have been fired. He was put with the Lakers was the only team to have an average of 30 plus age wise. We were old as dirt, couldn't defend a damn thing. We were the team that was set to make it out of the West and go to the finals. All this garbage, we didn't do nothing. We were so bad. And it wasn't Frank's fault.
Right.
He forced this situation, and then you telling me you don't have the dignity to let him know that he's going to be fired? He has to find out from a report. This is the Lakers. This ain't
he did handle that pretty well, though.
In the NBA, the Lakers is the number one team. I don't care anybody say the Lakers, the Boston Celtics. And I hate Boston. We 100% is the standard that everybody follows. I'm so Frank shouldn't have been
it's
fired.
not like it was the Pelicans or something like that, you know.
Exactly. This ain't the damn Pelicans. Then you put Russ on the damn team. I ain't gonna disrespect Russ. I love Russ, but God knows this exposed his ass. Oh my God, it exposed how overrated he is.
At least the coach handled it well, saying how he handled that reporter saying he'd worry about tomorrow. So
he was he literally was like, I ain't hear shit. Yeah. And I popped out laughing when I heard him say it. He was like, I ain't hear shit. And you can tell he was a little frustrated that's how he knew that was true. That's how he's finding out. I would be pretty pissed too. I would have probably handled it really bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those.
I would look right in the camera. Jeannie, this how I'm finding out, girl? By these jackasses?
I'd be like, I'm fired? Oh, word. I don't got to do this press interview then. See you guys later.
Right? I mean, shit, I'm a champion.
All right, I'll talk to y'all.
I got my championship ring. I'm done.
Right.
Can't take that from me.
Ridiculous.
But yeah.
But back to Thor.
Yeah. So I'll go on a real rant.
Yeah, I know we went off on a little tangent there. Yeah. But yes, so I don't know. I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping that the reason we haven't gotten the trailer yet is because they're trying to minimize leaks and everything that's going on there. But I guess we will see. It is creeping up on us. The fact that we haven't even gotten a teaser is still like...
I'm concerned, man.
I don't know. I don't know if they're like making some last minute changes or what's going on, but
because my thing is, what could be so big that you really don't want spoiled? I mean, at the end of the day, because honestly, I feel the ending is just going to be either, like you said, Thor's going to get killed, or he's either way he's going to retire some way, shape, or form, and Jane Frost is going to take over. So it's like everybody believes that's what's going to happen. So the only big change will be if that don't happen. So outside of that, what can you really produce that's going to like, oh my God, I never saw it. Like, honestly, unless freaking Galactus steps on the planet as the end credit, you're not really going to shock me with anything. Like, there's nothing they can do that's going to shock me. Even if the Fantastic Four somehow shows up, wouldn't be shocked. So I don't get what would you be hiding?
That is a good point. They could be hiding information on Silver Surfer or the Fantastic Four being in this movie. I know that we don't really know too much about this movie to begin with, besides the fact that Jane Foster is going to be the one wielding the hammer. So come on, we're just a teaser. That's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for. It's just a teaser. Honestly, we need something.
I don't think, and I haven't really heard that many people like overly obsessed with this movie, honestly.
No.
Compared, like Spider-Man's a whole different beast. Like Spider-Man's always gonna have people obsessed. Like he is that dude. He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like Thor's awesome, but I'm just saying, like movie-wise, I don't think there was many. Like I've been looking around. There's not many people like, oh my God, like I need this movie. Like it's just like
I think that everyone was kind of surprised, even with Ragnarok. I know we have our differences of opinion on the movie, but I don't think anyone was really. I mean, especially coming off of Dark World, No one really, I don't think anyone really expected much from the third movie, and then it was a little bit more surprising in the fact that it was put together a lot better as far as a cohesive movie than Dark World was, or even the first Thor movie, if you want to go back to that. First Thor movie was still decent, I thought, but like
not really that good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like a blockbuster film, it didn't have that to it. So that Ragnarok did end up having, I think, a big surprise. And then for the casual fans who don't know the whole, Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, everything like that, they thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, that movie made a lot of money and is still considered a heavy favorite. So if he brings that same kind of finesse, I guess, to this movie, I would be happy, because you're going to need a lot of that to carry this movie, I think, because I don't think a lot of people are really going to give a fuck about Jane Foster.
I agree. That's my biggest thing. They did. I mean, because even in the comics, again, she ain't do that well.
Right.
There's a reason why they switched her pretty soon back to Thor. I mean,
yeah, she didn't make it that long, for sure. Gore will kill Zeus and meet Hercules at the end. Thor's fine. Jane is fine, but Thor is in the MCU for a while still. That's why Zeus doesn't have an action figure. Only cast member without one. It's Russell effing Crowe. You need to make him an action figure unless he dies, because he's dead. And Thor 2 is better when you look at it as a Loki origin story that it is now. Basically, it's where the whole Loki TV show's growth comes from. I guess that's true. I'm still, like, as far as the movie goes, though, it was incredibly boring.
Right.
Like, even going back and rewatching it, like, it's definitely like a skip. That one and Black Widow are just skippable for me. Like, yeah, like I'm good without them.
I ain't even gonna front. Captain Marvel ain't a good movie neither.
Oh yeah, I even forgot about
that. And honestly, even what it introduced, it's not really that big of a deal.
Right.
Because none of it is really shaped to anything as of right now. So it's it's pretty skippable. Yeah,
for sure. She's apparently going to be in the new Fast and Furious movie, by the way. I don't know.
Is she really? Dude, they just pick anybody to be in the Fast and Furious movie. Let's be honest. Seriously.
Seriously. What are we going to do with them? Like, how could they possibly one-up the last Fast? Like, they were jumping cars into helicopters, into planes. I'm like, what the fuck? I still remember laughing at the one with the plane runaway that was like 55 miles long that they were going on. I don't remember which movie it was, but like it was so ridiculous how long. It was like a 15-minute scene with the plane taking off on the runway. I'm like, who is this pilot? Like, what? How long does it take to take off? Like, how long is this runway? It's ridiculous. But yeah, so apparently,
you remember the Fast and the Furious movies was actually about racing cars?
Yeah. The first two.
Yeah, the first two were. And then after that, it was like, no, we're just
even Tokyo Drift, which a lot of
stuff.
people hate. A lot of people hate Tokyo Drift, but at least Tokyo Drift was still racing. They were just racing.
It was. And I actually enjoyed Tokyo Drift.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like
stuff that's happening now. It's like, okay. Hey, The Rock's here. Cool, but all right.
Phil says it was boring because it was more about Loki than Thor. It was all about him. I just happened to watch it on my Marvel marathon before the show, and I was shocked how much better the movie was. Like, I want to do a revisit watch party now and get reactions. Okay, it's cool, Phil. If you like dick riding this movie, it's all good. Like, who's paying you to promote Dark World, bro? Like, I don't understand what's going on. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if they are paying you, continue to get that grind, bro.
Yeah. Keep getting that check, bro. Keep highlighting your comments here. Here you go. Is that an extra 10 cents?
Spotlight you, bro.
Is that another 10 cents per click there?
But obviously, James is fucking around. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you though. It's yeah.
Look, Tom Hiddleston is probably the only reason that movie is, it is like it can hold up. That they didn't just delete it and not put it on Disney Plus or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like so embarrassed about this movie that they're not even gonna let you stream it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Disney Plus, though,
just super quick, all I'm gonna say though is, again, the only thing that could shock me is if they do a good bait and switch, like what you'll see in wrestling at pay-per-views when everybody know who's gonna win and then the other person ends up winning because all the betting odds was on like this person winning. And Vince is like, I'm gonna switch it real quick.
Right.
Changing the way the ending is, you're winning now. Like, unless Jane, she does not actually become Thor at the end. Is just like a, just lift a hammer type thing, because they completely tuck away what it means to even lift a hammer. They didn't ruin that. But unless she just does something like that and she actually doesn't become Thor at the end, that would shock me. Outside of that, nothing would shock me, honestly.
Yeah. I've kind of forgot about the whole Zeus thing, but yeah, Zeus and Hercules, I would rather see Hercules come out at the end of that movie than Jane.
Of course, because again, like I said, usually when somebody gets a switch, they're that character for like 5 years or some crap. But she didn't last that long, a couple of years. Then when I was up, and then honestly, no one remembers a good story. Really, her story sucked.
I enjoyed.
That's not
so
true.
I read the
there was some people like it.
First trade, and I'm not like a huge Thor reader to begin with, but I did read that first trade where the kind of succession of her picking up the hammer and everything. Honestly, the best part of the story was Malekith. If I'm being real, I mean, he was like very amusing. I'm not gonna say the story was bad, because it wasn't bad. It held my attention. I kept reading. I didn't pick up the second trade or nothing and continue. But Malekith was definitely what made that story for me personally. Henry Cavill as Hercules. He's gonna get tired of having to keep that body though, man. He's had to do it for so long with Superman, and they've only given him 2 damn films. And you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of working out to be Superman body for only like a small payoff. And Man of Steel was still like an incredible movie, even though like a lot of people say it's slow or whatever, but it was still probably
at the end of the day, people still want him to be Superman though, so he did a good job. People still crave him to be Superman, so he did well.
Yeah.
He did well.
I'm with you on that. Like, I think he's a great Superman. I think that movie was fantastic for a world building movie, and they just all went downhill from there. So I don't know what happened, but they need to get back on that kind of track. Yes. But yeah, if he were to come back for Hurt now, he's going to have to sign like a multi-movie deal with Marvel. I mean, like you don't stay young forever, man. It's going to be hard to keep in shape, no matter how many steroids Mickey Mouse puts in your butt. Bang it over. All right, so let's talk about Moon Knight now.
Yes.
Moon Knight, baby. So what were your initial reactions to the first 2 episodes that are now streaming on Disney Plus? Thank you, Disney, for that check.
So obviously there'll be some spoilers here and there.
Yes.
Just so you guys know. But I like the way they're doing the world building. And I like how they're showing like different moments of him going in and out. And like you'll see him go out and then this carnage afterwards of what actually went down when he was Mark or whatever. And you see the people beating up and everything. And it's like, all right, that's pretty cool. Right. I do want to get an episode where we see when he blanked out, like the fight stuff, like what he did and all that stuff. I do want to see some of that. But
I think that's what's coming up in the next episode.
Huh?
I said I think that's what we're going to get in the next episode. It seems like that's what they were building.
I do want to say in the second, even though we'll go back to the first. I did like when he was in the police car and they was talking. They brought up his stuff and they was showing his mugshot and all his little like his ID and everything, and they had it as like 1975. I was like, that's pretty cool because that's when Moon Knight, the character, was created and whatever.
Okay.
I was like, that's a cool Easter egg there. His number is 1975. I was like, that's nice. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
They had a lot of stuff like that in the first couple of episodes that I thought was really nice. So I like the world building. There's some things about it that I'm like, but I'm definitely not like, this sucks. It doesn't.
No, yeah. Someone texted me before I even got the chance to watch it. He was like, "Did you watch Moon Knight? It sucks." And I'm like, "All right. First of all, I'm gonna disregard your text until I watch this for myself."
Right.
And then second of all, I just feel like because there it has been a lot of mixed reviews. I'm gonna say for me, just overall, I wasn't like super impressed. But I also wasn't disappointed at all. Like it's cool with me. This show is riding. But in a world where we have all this content that we are getting so regularly, where if you think about like even 15 years ago when we had to wait 3 or 4 years for the next superhero movie, period, just for a movie. And now we're getting episodes every week. We got this, we got that. For the people to be complaining about like, you know, oh, this didn't match up exactly like this should have in the comic book, like, then go read the fucking comic. I'll quote Jay-Z here. I'll quote Jay-Z here and be like, people want my old shit, buy my old album. Like, just go do you, bro. It's cool. But like, quit complaining about like the news. Stop watching it. Then you're gonna complain about next week too.
Yeah.
But I will say, I knew they were gonna struggle with showing the multiple personality or schizophrenia or whatever's going on. You know, how they wanted to tackle it. So I knew that's hard to show on screen, right? Because it is. That's a main reason why a lot of Stephen King's movies don't do very well on screen, because a lot of that shit's going on in the head. It's very easy to write, but it's not very easy to show. But I think they did a good job with the talking to the reflections, like you were saying, like him blanking out and then kind of coming to this carnage. Like that was cool. I liked that. I liked that. What I don't like MCU humor just like having to be saturated in everything that they're doing now. Yeah. We could tone that back just a little bit. It doesn't all have to be goofy and jokes. But yeah, other than that, I thought that the effects looked pretty cool. I didn't know that he spawned a suit like Spawn, but you know that it still looked cool. Like when the suit came together and everything.
Because even when he did, because even in the second episode was funny when he puts on the like the not the full version of the Moon Knight suit. Technically, that suit was created in terms of like it was put together. It wasn't like him spawning it like Spawn. He couldn't do that. Right. He actually, it was created. So you know that it's funny. It's like, all right, I guess. I'm pretty sure his mom is like, that's not his mom, because at least in the Moon Knight story, his mom is already dead. Like he finds out that his mom died when he was a child. So I kind of feel I feel like they're gonna keep that. That's not his mom who he's talking to. And then I did hear that they cast his mom. So I was like, okay, let me look her up. The person they cast is a pretty young girl. Like she's younger. Unless like that being a flashback to his mom, that makes sense. But that girl cannot be his mom. She's too young.
Okay.
And she looks too young.
Okay.
So
Chris spilling some details here for us. All right. Okay. I knew something's going on because he keeps calling and leaving voicemails. It seems like daily, where Steven does. Steven, when he's in the Steven persona. And then there was that point where he meets the chick. I'm blanking on her name, and she's like, "Oh, so you're talking to your mom again?" So obviously the Mark character, not so much. Phil says, "I like that it's not in New York, for fuck's sake. That's nice. Show is solid. I'm gonna like to see some more momentum shift than them meeting so early, but the first was better than the second. It's a TV show. It can't get a movie score until you see the whole thing. People are spoiled 100%.
Yeah.
And he's got a dip. So thanks. Appreciate you, Phil, for hanging out.
Yeah, man.
He also says, brother. I like it's not Batman like armor. I like it's not Iron Man nano suit growth. It's like the mummy shift is good. Yeah. So I mean, again, no complaints really. I'm not like super impressed yet, but again, there's still plenty of episodes left.
Yes.
But I'm definitely not disappointed by this show. I'm also not someone who comes from a super knowledgeable Moon Knight background, so maybe like diehard Moon Knight fans might not agree. But for me, I'm vibing with the show so far. I thought that the car chase scene was pretty amusing. Like it kept me going. There was also an Easter egg in that delivery truck. One of the boxes said Von Doom on it, or like Doom Industries or something like that. So that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
It's the Dr. Doom, baby. So that was kind of cool. The creature, I thought the creature didn't look terrible. It's like sometimes that CGI for whatever is so bad. You know what I mean? It's like
it's not a wolf. It's not a wolf. Because some people like it's a wolf. It's not a wolf.
No, it wasn't a wolf. It was like one of those
stuff with a J. Damn it.
Guard things from Egypt mythology. I don't know Egypt mythology at all.
It starts with a J.
It's the power of the moon, baby. Keeps them bitches looking young. So Moon Knight's mom looks so young because of the power of the moon, apparently.
Yeah, maybe that's how she's so young, bro. But nah, like I said, I don't think that's his mom, dude. Like I'm pretty like something's up with that. I'm like his mom's alive.
Something's up with that. Something's up with the whole Khonshu thing, the Egyptian god, which his voice. So are they doing the same thing with like his voice that they did with like Eddie Brock and Venom, where it's fucking like it's Oscar Isaac's voice, but they just kind of deepened it or did their effects to it or whatever. Is that kind of what they're trying to do?
I feel the same way you feel. I'm wondering that too.
That was a little strange, but you know, I'm still all right with it. And then I do like the guy, the Arthur Harrow character so far. I think that he's putting on a good performance where it's like, is he in the wrong? Is he in the right? Is he really a villain? Like, what's going on here? Is he going to be the main
when
problem?
He kills the old man at the end, though, that kind of was like, that's
yeah,
a big thing, dude.
So I'm with it. Like, I think that he's portraying a very interesting character. Like, I want to know more about, you know, this character, and so how they're going to end up using him as just like he's kind of a problem, or like he's just a problem here and there, and they both have to like deal with the main problem. So you know, I'm here with it. There's a new episode tomorrow. I'm excited, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it continues. But I'm hoping a little, like you said, I'm hoping a little more. Let's follow Mark now and get some answers and see him kick some ass. Instead of just fast forwarding a little bit. I do, like I said, I like how they do that, but let's see it now.
Yeah, let's kind of see it now. I want to actually get that stuff popping and everything. Because I do know that, you know, Mark is obviously the more dominant of the two, especially in the comics. He's the one. He's the real,
of course.
Basically. Yeah, he's the one. So I'm hoping we get more with that. I did like at the end of one, that's when we did see the Moon Knight suit. I did like how they did that. Like you didn't get it to the end, and it was a cool moment when they did that. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. And the creatures being invisible and like you can't really see them unless you've like basically or you've been close to death. You can't really see the creature, so I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The girl, I think she threw water on it or something, and it did kind of like stick.
Yeah, or like water or dirt or something to kind of get an outline of it. Yeah, of the was it a jackal?
Jackal. That's what the damn thing. Yeah, jackal. It's not a wolf. Some people like it was a wolf. I was like, no, it's not a wolf.
No, not a wolf. And then, of course, I'm still holding out to and thinking that Blade is going to play some part of this show. Maybe it's just high hopes, but I'm still hoping. Hoping
Honestly,
because,
like you said, dude, like you've been saying, why the hell did you cast him so early if he's not doing anything?
Right. And then someone else pointed out to me that it is taking place in London, which is where Eternals took place in Europe, right? And at the end of the Eternals, where we had Dane Whitman with the sword, and then that's where we heard Blade's voice. So if Blade is located over there at the moment, then we do have a little higher chance of getting Blade in this series. So someone's throwing that together, and I didn't either until someone was like, "Hey, you know, that's the location of the Eternals movie. That's where that end credit scene happened. You know, maybe that's where we're gonna get it. So maybe we get Dane Whitman. Maybe you know, we get some Black Knight action, and maybe we get some Blade. I'm here for it.
I am too.
I am still waiting for him to drop his pants and bend over and say, "You've been mooned."
I mean, bro, I'm waiting for Namor in his Speedo, so I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, cross fingers for sure, because that would be really cool for a team up between the two of them, or if they like a fight between the two of them, because Mark
that would be pretty lit.
Like, who the fuck is this? And they just get into a little battle. Either way, I'm excited. I'm not saying anything negative about the show till it's over. People are just so quick to judge stuff like, "Oh, this sucks. This sucks." And it's like, come on, man. We're one episode in, or we're 2 episodes in. Like, let it build a little bit.
It's like even with like how I've always viewed when I listen to a CD or whatever, you listen to a soundtrack, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing first before I judge and say it's garbage or it's great. I'm not gonna offer 2 songs I love. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. Or 2 songs I didn't like. Oh, this is the worst thing I ever heard in my life. No, I'm listening to the whole thing first. Listen to this person, he or she's full, album, and then I'm gonna say, all right, that was trash. All right, that was great.
Right.
At least listen to it, or at least watch. Let it play out first before you say it's garbage. Like, just let it play out first.
Everyone was so quick to hate WandaVision the first 2 episodes dropped.
And look how, and now everybody's like, most people would say that was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, it became like the momentum shift of that series was remarkable to watch. Of everyone being like, oh man, Marvel's lost its touch, like with the first 2 episodes, and then like literally the next week, everyone was like, Marvel is back at it again. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like,
like, yeah, and then
it's just these. Yeah, I mean, their memory span is just not great because now we're doing it again. They're like, this first episode of Moon Knight was just garbage, and then the second episode comes out, all right, it was a little bit better, and by the end of it, I'm sure they're going to be saying, I was a Moon Knight fan from the first episode. This is how it goes. Especially if Blade pops up, everyone's going to be praising, like, oh my God, it was amazing.
Now that you told me that, now I'm even 10 times more hoping Blade shows up.
I'm hoping, man. I really am.
So now I'm a little bit angry that you told me that because he needs to show up now. I'm gonna be so upset if he does not show up.
It's gonna be my fault somehow.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna have
actually, yeah.
Bro. Yeah, it's your fault.
Oh shit. All right, 2 more quick things that I just want to go over before we wrap it up here today.
All right.
One, Batman coming to HBO Max in a couple of weeks. I'm excited for the second viewing of it. We were just saying before we got on the stream, I was like, damn, that was fast. But I already made over $750 million in theaters, so why not put it out to HBO? Shit, so now we can rewatch it.
True.
I think it's a great idea. I'm excited to be able to rewatch the movie. I really enjoyed it. So, and I'll actually get to have bathroom breaks during the 3-hour movie, so that would be fantastic too. And then the second thing,
that was my whole fear the whole time. I was like, damn it. Come on, Bladder. Do not fuck me over. It did
I dipped my tongue in a bowl of salt before we went in and just dried up everything in my body real quick. And I was like, all right, great. No peeing for the next 3 hours. Fantastic. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was just a new theory that's kind of circulating around for the Doctor Strange movie, which is coming out in May. We're less than a month away from the Doctor Strange movie. I'm so pumped. But there's been like a couple new little TV spots and stuff like that. But the main new theory that I've seen that I really like is that it's everyone, how everyone was like, it's the Illuminati, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. What if it's not the Illuminati? We get a red herring from the Professor X voice in that spot, because you know how they like to fuck with us on trailers.
True.
What if it's the Council of Kangs?
Oh, that would be interesting.
What if that's what we're about to get hit with?
That would be a good one right there. That would be sick if he went in. That would be pretty cool. That would be a good one too. That would definitely shock people when they see that. Like, we all was thinking Illuminati.
Everyone's thinking Illuminati. Boom, it's the Council of Kangs. I think that would be a smarter move. It would make a lot more sense with everything that's going on. You have plenty of Kangs. You can even count the Loki variant, Sylvie, as one of the Kangs, because she killed the Kang, so she has that power now, right? So she is that one. And he even said, Kang even, or I guess the one who remains, or whichever persona was at the end of the Loki show. He's like, well, they're all going to come. They're all coming for you now. So what if that's what it is? What if they all there they are. We've all come. We've all arrived.
That would be pretty sick if she's the one who walks in and then meets Strange first. That would be pretty badass. And they'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Then the other ones are right there behind. That would be really cool.
Yeah. So that's the new theory that I'm digging on. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
there were some people saying that like it's going to be an alternate universe Reed, and he like everyone on the Illuminati is going to die except for him, and he's going to become the Maker. And I was like, that's a lot.
That's too much. Because
that's a lot
we
for
know
one movie.
We know that
for like a subplot of
we
one
get
movie.
all that, and the Maker's really cool, and he does a lot of cool things. But you know how much movies you have to set up for that, and you know you would have to. That's way too. I would never want to do that. Not right now, like that.
Yeah, when especially
I would rather
like we already have
the real Reed introduced first before I even think of going into the Maker aspect.
Right.
Oh
yeah. So I was quick to discuss that one, because I was just like, I was sitting there, and I'm like, this Kang theory that I hear, it's the one that makes the most sense to me. Because even like everyone was so quick to jump to Illuminati, and that skyrocketed, and even you and I were like, oh, you know, if it's the Illuminati, that'd be cool. That could bring in something for Hulk or whatever. But now this just makes so much more sense, because it's like we already have Kang established, we already have Loki established, and everything like that. This multiverse, the way that they have branched the multiverse, and whose fault is it? It's Kang. So that it does make a lot more sense that would be the case. We also got a confirmation that Billy and Tommy are returning. That was in a TV spot, at least in some aspect, whether it's flashback, alternate universe, whatever it is. We do see Billy and Tommy, the children of Scarlet Witch, and so we do know that she is good. That is going to be a huge part of her trying to continue her search for her children. For the children. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as well. We also got to see Doctor Strange with like the third eye in his forehead, but then also with the mark that was in the first Doctor Strange. I guess the mark, it looked like just because the Darkhold, right? Since they were drawing power from the Darkhold.
Right.
So we know that's where this evil Doctor Strange is also going, I guess, to dip his hand into that Darkhold magic too. So, but we kind of already knew that from the What If thing, because you were saying that was they were going to draw a bunch from that. But it was just cool to see it in the TV spot.
Very cool.
Looked really creepy as well. So
yes,
I'm digging it, man. I'm excited. I think this movie's going to be crazy. I just hope they don't try to do too much, but I think visually it's going to be phenomenal.
I do too. Oh man, with the magic and all the craziness, this is going to be a fun movie.
Yeah, and we all know if this evil Doctor Strange gets out of hand, you know, Steven can just call up his man Spider-Man and be like, "Bro, I need you to KO this, bro. I need you to KO this dude in 2 minutes." Get past that, are you? I'm never letting it go. I'm never letting that shit go, bro. I'm pissed off already. I'm pissed off again. Spider-Man knocked out Stephen Strange in 5 minutes. What the hell? No, I'm good at geometry. I could beat the Sorcerer Supreme.
My man now.
Fucking stupid. Should have been a 30-second Doctor Strange slap the shit out of Spider-Man, and that's it.
Yeah. That is what really should have happened.
Now that we've power scaled Spider-Man so high, I guess we could just draw him in to take care of this evil Strange now. So we should.
Who needs Captain Marvel, Hulk, Thor? Yeah. Nah, fuck that. Spider-Man can just take out Galactus. Is smacking with his geometry dick. And Galactus is gonna go down.
Oh, I can take care of Galactus. I'm good at geometry. Motherfucker, what? Excuse me?
Excuse me?
He gets a side eye from Dr. Doom, like,
right?
What are you talking about?
What the fuck? This is our hero?
Yeah, this is our hero. Did you guys see the Stranger Things trailer? I'm going to be real with you, Robert. I haven't even seen the first season of Stranger Things. I have zero interest in that show.
Same.
That's just me, personally. I'm sorry. Did you see the Stranger Things trailer? Was it good? I don't know. No? Okay. Have you seen any of the Stranger Things? No. Yeah. No. I've heard a lot about Stranger Things, the Netflix show. I have never taken the time to even play the first episode. I know there's something to do with light bulbs on a wall. I know that has something to do with it. It's creepy. There's a lot of child actors, whatever. And a couple of them are in the It movie. That's about as far as I know about Stranger Things.
I got some toys that's been put into my store now that we're selling. So
about Stranger Things.
Yeah,
pet toys.
I had to. Yeah, we had to set up a display for Stranger Things.
What?
Yeah.
Man, Stranger Things sponsor a PetSmart. That's kind of crazy.
I know.
That's how you know they're really reaching. They're
They're
trying to get your goldfish to be a fan of the show. That's how you know that shit is garbage. All right. Well, we're gonna draw an end to this show. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us live or on the replay. Hit that like button, smash it, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate you. We're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. As many Tuesdays as we can, anyway. And we just talk about a whole bunch of garbage that has to do with pop culture. So we will see.
Yeah, we'll get that anime next week. We had so much stuff this time. So
yeah,
I was like,
just had so much to catch up on. We'll start with anime next week for sure. Yes. We're going to kick off with that. But we will catch you guys next week. As always, stay villainous and